Well, so good morning, Mama V. Yeah, Mama V, good morning.
Good morning.
How was your weekend? Looks like your weekend was filled.
Yeah, yes,
Full of
yes,
lots
yes.
of activities. Okay.
You know, I have all boys in my house.
I can imagine.
One of them boys celebrated his birthday.
Ah, that was a lot of work.
Yesterday was busy.
So
for me.
You did it home or you went to?
No, we
church?
went to pitch.
Okay, pitch somewhere.
Pitch come somewhere.
Okay, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
So I hope they all had a great time.
Oh yeah,
because even though it will be one's birthday, it's always as if all of them are celebrating their birthdays.
Yes.
And you have to replicate the same atmosphere the next time for the other one.
Yeah. True. There's something that is, I don't know, beach. I don't know if your kids worry you that they want to go to the beach, but I get the beach a lot.
A lot, but I think the elders like making too much waves in the water, and I feel uncomfortable. Yeah. So yesterday, their cousin came to pick them up. He's an older one. He's an accountant, so came to pick them up to Oak Plaza.
Oh,
so they went to swim and learn how to swim. So now I have a duty. They said
you have to be taking them every weekend.
Yeah. And I think he went around asking. They said if you sleep there, you're going to get free swimming lessons. She says that we should go and swim. We should go and sleep there. We'll be sleeping there every weekend. And I told him that the cost of sleeping there one weekend can pay for 6 months of training. Because when you go, it's only 25 Ghana cedis.
Oh my God. Kids, they think that
the way they think it's like
daddy and mommy can afford everything on this.
Yeah, they think that's some molecules.
It's good to let them think.
Back in the day, they used to tell me I should go to a certain bank. They used to see the adverts. When I say I don't have money, they say go to that bank. You have money.
How hard can that be? Just go to the bank.
Yeah, no, they'll tell you. There was a particular promo that was running on their channel that they used to watch. So when I said I don't have money, they said, go to this bank. They always have money in 48 hours.
Interesting. We hope that you had fun with your own family this weekend.
It was actually the Unibank. They tell me go to Unibank. Is it Unibank? No, the one that collapsed. Which one is that? The one that collapsed. UT Bank.
Oh, okay. Alone in less than 48 hours.
They were hearing that one, so they'll say 48 hours I'll get it. Yeah.
Do they even know the meaning of alone?
How even a struggle it is.
Yeah, we hope that you found time to spend a little bit of it with your family.
Well,
at the end of everything else that we do, I mean, family is the reason that we do what we do. So it would be sad if at the end of the day you can't spend a bit of time with family. All right, let's do the newspapers. We're just returning from the weekend. Weekend was good, but it ended on like some horrible notes, like Manchester United. Really? Okay, but we don't want to think about it.
And that's what the coach was saying.
I predicted, listen, I should have recorded myself and put it somewhere. I predicted what Mourinho was going to say. I said he was going to say, oh, but this is like the inevitable. We knew this was going to happen. They were already champions. Really?
Yeah. And but you know, before the game he was saying that his team was blowing hot and cold. They should be consistent, and I think sometimes the players also need to get onto the field.
He himself he hasn't been consistent this season. We haven't seen Manchester United really play.
Yeah.
Truth is, when we won against Manchester City, it was more of luck, because if you look at that game, I mean,
hey, Charlie.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
football fans.
I don't know how the feeling is going to
Reminds
be like
me
with
of
the rest of the
losers for the Ghana Music Awards. When they lose, they have all kind of ascribed reasons.
Oh, whichever way. But I think I don't know how we're going to be able to progress and be like a team under Ferguson. You know, that kind of team under
I think Mourinho.
I don't know. I don't think he's a Manchester United kind of coach. Yeah.
I'm so sad.
He's not our kind of coach. Okay, let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper. But send us your comments on anything that you hear or anything that you want us to know about or the world to know about. Send us WhatsApp or regular text messages. Let's see what's making headlines in the Daily Graphic newspaper today. Front page of the Daily Graphic: President in London for Commonwealth meeting. That story is on page 16. In the meantime, we know the games are over, Roland. Ghana, we brought a medal, the biggest medal, bigger than bronze, Roland. It's a disgrace. That's where we ended.
Well,
yeah, like
well,
we,
true.
you know, when we go somewhere, we have to make a statement, and we have to make it in a big way.
And we make it big.
People are fighting for medals.
We make it big. We make it big.
Navy NPA impound 2 vessels over illegal transfer. We know the NPA say they're ready for them. 2 vessels in the process of the transfer when they were arrested. Retraction and apology to Ibrahim Jaja. What's that about? I guess you've got to read it. It's on page 2. 5 oil companies suspended. They failed to declare returns. Big news. Story on page 3 comes with a picture of the NPA boss, Hassan Tampoli. Story by Edmund Smith. Asante in Accra says 5 oil companies that underdeclared or failed to declare returns on fuel they loaded at a Tema tank farm this year have been suspended by the National Petroleum Authority until they are able to reconcile their figures and revert to the MPA for final determination of their cases. They are Union Oil Ghana Limited, Missile Energy Company Limited, Excel Oil Company Limited, Unique Oil Company Limited, and Life Petroleum Company Limited. Companies alleged to have indulged in underhand dealings with respect to declaration made to the Ghana Revenue Authority, Globex Energy Limited, and Agapets Limited. The MPA made a find after reviewing the returns of the companies for January and February this year. There's more to this story that you can read. The paper is putting spotlight specific news concerning the 5 companies in the midst of this, so you can check it out on page 3 in the newspaper. Let's look at the center spread, and then we'll go to the back page. Center spread. Look at people living with homophilia. It's a story by Dr. Lawrence Osei Tutu that you can read about. Make time and grab the paper. Also, need for sustainable and resilient infrastructure in Ghana. Back page of the paper, though, is some spot. Late dreams go, leave Kotoko stranded. And this is the point where I get a smile a bit. Sharks expose hearts. Oh, Charlie, I thought hearts we were in good form. And
You're apparently not in good form.
The form be Shakara form. Okay, so this is the league table.
A topsy-turvy form.
So Kotoko, we're like on the same points with Kotoko. I thought we're doing better than Kotoko. Oh, how?
You're on the same point.
10-10.
There's a good difference, though, that you have. So that's how come you're up there.
No, Kotoko is actually higher than us.
No, Kotoko should be below you.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well, then the table I am looking at doesn't say so. But Benedict will be here. He will tell us all about matches that went down this weekend, both home and abroad, and what's to come this week as well. In the meantime, that's it for the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Okay, so we have to do the Ghanaian Times. On the front page of the Ghanaian Times, carnage in the northern region, 19 perished on Yapala Road, 2 at DRA, and the story is on page 3, and this had been making the rounds on social media, and the carnage. It says 21 people lost their lives in separate gory road accident in the northern region, and the picture there you can find 3 buses all colliding. I'm told that well, one was overtaken and then collided with an oncoming, and the one that was being overtaken also. Yeah, so you could see. And 2 persons also were confirmed dead at DRA near Savalogo on the Tamale Wale Road when a cargo vehicle loaded with wares, I believe, collided with tricycle. We also have Ebony grabs Artist of the Year posthumously, and President leads delegation to Chogum meeting. Okay. On page 2, though, there's an editorial. The Electricity Company of Ghana is making a comparison of the previous net tariff charges effective 7th April and the new net tariff charges effective 15th March 2018, indicating the percentage reduction and the amount you as a consumer you're saving. Yeah, I bought some light. I think it's been lasting for some time. Yeah, yesterday I went to look at it. I thought it would be getting finished by the regular time, so it's not. So you have the usual sports stories on the back page of the Ghanaian Times.
Yeah. And let's do the Finder. Finder newspaper front page. That accident there, road murders. The paper puts it, the same accident story that Roland mentioned, which is in the Ghanaian Times. There's another angle to it in the Finder newspaper. So they say road murders, 21 perish again as reckless overtaking results in head-on collusion. Dr. Baumia woos Silicon Valley investors. Farmers hail Kwapa Koko's anti-corruption stance. GMPC commits $9 million to professional chair. And then 2 vessels arrested in Ghana's waters over illegal fuel transfer. So, headline stories on the front page of the Finder newspaper.
Okay, so let's go to the Daily Guide newspaper. It has on the front page, Farmers Hill, Kwapa Koko new managers, but the main story, double pay saga, CID grabs ex-minister's bank statements. And then we have Central Region MPP routes for Kutim. And 8 fake soldiers busted at Pediasi. But Ebony reigns in death. And the stories are on page 3, page 6, page 8, and page 19. Now let's go to the center spread as always.
Is there something on Ebony's father?
No, it's on social media.
I have a feeling that maybe in the coming days, because on Saturday, before the awards, her father was on Peace FM and talked a lot about artist management as well. And I'm sure the bloggers are, just because the main Ghana Music Awards was on later on in the nights. I guess they are waiting. We'll probably hear things. Yeah,
and you know days. That on Friday our conversation tried to veer off also in that direction in terms of their management and how they look at their welfare and things like that.
There was a comment, for instance, so when she traveled. So for somebody that you're managing, she traveled all by herself at that odd time, and the father seemed to suggest that somebody should have checked her, like if you say you're managing someone, And then there were questions from the panel to him, and Celestine Donko, who is an artist herself, was also on the show, and she said that my husband manages me, and sometimes when I say I want to do something, I definitely try to find a way of doing it, even though he's my husband and we live in the same house. I can sneak out and go and do things that he has not given me as a manager permission to do. So you can have like a very stubborn artist that you're managing, and then the man said, but there are so many stubborn artists outside the country as well. In America, you can have big celebrities, but they are managed. And there was a bit of controversy, Charlie. But even that, he said, he's not talking yet. He'll come proper and come and talk. That there are so many things that, But we give it to bullets, Roland. We give it to bullets. I mean, if you look at the awards that Ebony picked as an artist, and the fact that she's been in the limelight for just like 2 years.
2 years,
and he was able to do that. For any person who's been able to turn a situation like that around from somebody who nobody knew. So that's a big deal. People have been managing artists for like years. And how many of them even come close to winning New Artist of the Year?
And if you look at the album of Ebony, he wrote most of the songs.
Yeah.
And if they say he co-produced many of them or produced them, and if they say you're producing, it means that you're a big part of the tune, the rhythm, the way the sound is of the whole composition. And that's a great thing.
Yeah.
It also has created a certain reputation for him.
Yeah.
And I believe going forward, he seems to be one of the top producers now we have around.
Absolutely. Sometimes I don't know if he'll be able to penetrate and make a statement like he did with another artist, like he did with Ebony. We know how this industry is.
Yeah.
You can't easily predict.
Yeah.
But definitely we give it to Bullet. I think he did a fantastic job. Father disclosed, though, that Ebony was not exactly happy with her contracts with Bullets. But then again, who on this earth is happy with your contract?
And then also when you're coming the first time, your contract wouldn't be sweet one.
Yeah. And then there was also another suggestion that it may have been signed in a rush because, Charlie, so like I said, the talking point will be coming later on.
Later on,
people are feasting on it.
When
the man really spoke.
All the charisma about the award goes on. But
really
talking about the awards, the center spread, the News One pull out, the Daily Guy says, it will be on your screens. TV3 goes off on Nanaba at VGM. And that was a big talking point as well.
Yeah.
And the controversy was there. I was talking to some of my old folks back in the day. You and I had been there. They said... well, they went off. They had apologized on their social media handles just immediately. But, you know, curiously, they went off free-to-air, Ghana, but they didn't go off on DSTV.
Okay.
So I said, well, I don't know.
Oh, so DSTV carried the response? Because if you're watching, it was just at the point when the gentleman was going to speak to the question or to the presentation. Yeah.
No, you know, they were showing it on, is it Africa Magic or one of the channels?
Yeah, okay.
So, and the source of transmission is from TV3 because they produced it.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Or they carried it.
But it didn't go off if you were watching.
The transmission didn't go off on Africa Magic or wherever it was being transmitted, but their channel went off.
Okay, but so then you couldn't say it was intentional, could you?
Yeah. So I started asking questions. I said, well, we needed to make sure we separate what the facts are, etc. But sometimes it's curiously coincidental, too coincidental. So.
But I don't know. Okay, so I had another angle, and my mind had not even gone there. That somebody said, oh, they don't want him on they don't want her on their screen. I mean, that's absurd. Yeah. Seriously. Yeah, I don't think that's I don't think that's it. I really don't think that's it.
We had worked there before, but if we're doing something, they cannot prevent us from doing
I don't
something
think that's
coming on the
it.
screens.
They're not vindictive, if you like. I mean, they're great people behind the brand TV3, and they are not vindictive in that sense. I don't think so.
It's just that sometimes social media goes agog with a lot of
and
things.
people just run with it.
Yes, it's true.
People run with it.
It's true. And if you don't think you are not tactful, you just go with the flow.
Yeah,
and then you see that you goofed.
I refuse to go that way, though.
Sharp.
I know that things happen. Even when we are working, you know, a machine could go off or anything can happen. Yeah. Anything could trigger anything to go off. But we will definitely discuss the ceremony. I mean, it's the biggest music night, really, so you can't run away from it. So we have a conversation on that. Patapa, so many angry. One is Patapa. What popular song of the year?
It was One Corner. Because
was it?
It trended in Ghana, Nigeria.
But did you vote? I think, you know, Patapa and his management, they are really, really angry. But the question that I asked was, did they ensure that people voted for them?
No, but seriously.
Yeah? Whether people voted or not?
No, but it should reflect what the reality is, seriously.
Yeah? How about Fancy Gadam?
No, his song was good. I love Fancy Gadam. I'm not a fan of Patapa's One Corner, but I mean, I have to acknowledge. It's just like the way I love Stone Boy over Shatta Wale, but I'm saying on the business side of of showbiz, Shatta Wale does it. So I say I'll give it to him any day. But at the end of the day, when we're talking about which song went viral, it will be One Corner.
Yeah.
So viral means that which one was popular?
It wasn't
had airplay.
It wasn't viral song of the year. Could have been viral on social media.
No, viral.
But what's the name of the category?
Viral.
Please, what's the name of the category?
Viral is just the new term now.
What's the name of the category?
I think it's the most popular song.
And what do you have to do to get most popular song of the year?
You get airplay.
No. I mean, how do you, as an artist, win that category?
You have to be voted for.
Exactly. So I'm just saying that. I mean.
Anyway, so let's look at a couple of them.
Why do we always want to look at Kululu, eh?
We're not saying anything.
So how about Fancy Gadam?
But we're just curious.
How about Fancy Gadam and Patapa sitting side by side and facing this reality? Hopefully we'll be able to pull that off later this morning.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah.
But I think for me, the person who absolutely did it, Samini. Samini. And what's the name of the new artist that he's bringing? Oh gosh, I'm looking forward to that guy.
Oh, okay. Is it Calvin Boy? No.
Okay. Dion, yes, his name is Dion. Dion, absolutely.
All right, Dion watch it.
I love the way
he has a song called Dap.
I love the way he outdoored him, the way that he did, because you know Samini had been accused in the past, particularly when he was managing Stone Boy, that he didn't he was a bit selfish because he had his own career also going on, and he didn't support them like he should have. And I thought that, you know, like with this stage and doing what he did, oh my God. And I was like, oh, Shatta, is Shatta watching? Because I saw Stonebwoy standing and staring at the guy, like really looking intense. I said, that's real competition for you, Stonebwoy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy is good.
And since Friday, we've had apparently Moesha coming to apologize.
Yeah,
We're told that on her social media, that is IG, that'll be Instagram, she came apologizing. She says that dear Ghana, or dear GH. Now,
that one is not an apology. Dear
well,
GH,
this is Moesha. I've been humbled by all that is going on. I've also learned a lot in the last few days since CNN, since the CNN video came out. I've had a lot of time to think and reflect, and I apologize to all, especially my African sisters. I pray you all find it in your heart to forgive me. It was definitely not my intention to offend any of you. I respect all the hard-working women of our beloved country and accept that some of my utterances were not a reflection of what happens in most homes. God works in mysterious ways, and everything happens because he says so. Thanks for the love, pieces of advice, and criticisms. God bless us all. The full version of the interview, though, dropped this weekend. I hope to that's what killed it for me. And I hope that you can appreciate and watch it.
Listen,
and then,
I don't know. I think nobody should force an apology out of the young lady.
Yeah.
This is what she does. So, I don't know. Are you apologizing for what you do?
Yeah.
Is that to say that you wouldn't do it again? Or so, you know, like, goes. Yeah. I don't know. People just want her to fake an apology.
Yes.
And it's more like if that's what you want, you feel offended, then I apologize. But that's her lifestyle.
Well, that's cool, as it is. And then also, we have Patapa trolled over his outfit at the VGMAs. You know his outfit. Somebody said that
Ghana people, hey.
There was this one.
They put one side by side.
Yeah, particularly, that killed me. It was about.
Was it Kwame Eugene?
No, about Patapa's outfits.
Okay.
And and there was it says Openyi. It says Openyi. I don't finish the alteration. No, bring them. It's funny. I have a lot of them, so yeah.
I saw one that had, I think it was Kwame Eugene, or one of Richie's artists. I get confused by the two guys side by side with Patapa, and one.
Oh, that would be Kiddy.
Okay, that was Kiddy. That one had like a well tailored to fit suits,
and then, that's why that's when you go and buy. Is that what they say?
Something like
or
that.
Fools or something.
But they think we play too much. We like play.
And social media actually has made Ghana.
Any other fallouts?
Yeah. And no, we had prior Tales 2018 VGMAs and Yvonne Nelson.
You're talking about the Ehoniho and Tintin.
All of them, yeah.
All three?
Yeah, we're told.
Really?
As announced, they come back and perform together for the first time.
Oh.
They perform at... and then also Wuta won the group of the year.
Oh, yes. And I heard something about the group. I was a bit surprised.
That what?
Charlie, in Ghana people talk, so let me not re-echo, because I'll be disappointed if the group, went their separate ways again.
Oh, okay.
I don't want it to happen for the second time. But I was absolutely excited. And I like what Afriye said when they got the award. And bigging those in the high life category and saying that even though Ghana is noted, I mean, that's our identity really, highlight, but you find very few people
doing it.
Getting into, so more like encouraging them not to move away from the high life.
Yeah, sure. I think we have to be known for something. So, but the thing is that you also have to move with the times, because if you look at the rhythms of the 60s, let's say even in the West, etc., in the 70s they changed. In the 80s it changed, in the 90s it changed, and in the 2000s up
you
to the
still can have.
So you need to have a certain fusion.
No, but
I mean, that's all I'm
exactly,
saying.
But definitely,
you need to have your high life, but fuse it.
Yeah, but you also still need those who do the original high life.
The authentic one.
Yes, you still need the original
they
high life.
Do the authentic
I mean, when we
one.
talk about high life now, like we listen to, when you listen to Amachi Dede anytime, any day, and you rise and you dance, whether you're young or old.
Play some kind of reggae like.
Exactly. We still talk about Papa Yangsing. We talk about all of them.
Yeah.
But, we need people to sustain that kind of genre.
True. I agree with you.
Let's do the business and Financial Times newspaper. Mobile money certification to enhance operations. It's a big story in the paper today. PwC backs banking reforms, says banks will overcome stresses. And then Zenith Bank meets Bank of Ghana's 400 million Ghana's capital requirement. Well, we knew that it wouldn't be such a big deal for the non-traditional banks. After all, they've got their mothers and their fathers elsewhere, and they can support them. It's the very local banks that we worry about. And I don't know, I also fear for the lobbying that is going on, you know, to the extent that the appeal is getting to the presidency, and there's a you know, like committee look into it, that kind of thing. It doesn't help. I don't think it really helps, because this is a Bank of Ghana, the regulator's job, absolutely, and I would love that we leave it to the regulator. If they are not convinced by the petitions or the calls the pleas that are coming to them, and they still insist that we use the December deadline with the 400 million Ghana cedis, I say so be it, because what they see, nobody else can see. Back page of the Business and Financial Times newspaper, Access Bank commits to GRI sustainability reporting standards. And the GRI, that's the world acclaimed global reporting initiative. Also, First National Bank's experts to discuss, quote, where to invest in Africa report, unquote. So you can read about all these stories in the Business and Financial Times newspaper. Two hardcore papers that we will do. First will be the new Crusading Guide newspaper, front page. NPP chairmanship race, we're voting for Intim. That's the Eastern Region delegates declare. But if you've been following Ghanaian elections for a while now, then you would agree that you've got to fear delegates, because it doesn't matter what they say. It is the real action that they do when nobody is watching. That is what matters. VIP woos tech investors, tout stable macroeconomic achievement under Akufo-Addo. Sefakai goes for Gideon Buama. That story on page 10. Jostle for NPP regional youth organizer. Now, when you see this, it's as if it's the famous, the known Kwame Sefakai. That's in this race for NPP regional youth organizer. But I guess that's the whole idea, right? You have to read the story to understand who it is really. If it's our Kwame Sefakai, then how is he involved in this? So read about it in the paper. Assemblies of God Church praises Akufo-Addo. And then AFCON Tech donates security gadgets to prisons and police and others. All these stories in the new Crusading Guide newspaper, the Daily Dispatch, and then we will quickly go online.
All right, so we have the story as this: NDC MP's open letter to President Akufo-Addo. We support your plans for improving security situation, but, and they said below is a slightly edited open letter to President Akufo-Addo from a member of Parliament of the National Democratic Congress. He says, I must admit, over the last 5 weeks, there has been an improvement in terms of patrols and arrests of criminals, but a lot needs to be done. And just on my page that I'm on, over the weekend, a mate had her neighborhood robbed, armed robbers besieging there, and it's not a good sight many of the times when you hear some of the stories. Time to rebuild the Ghanaian film industry. Now it's almost as if even the Kumawood, you hardly hear of them. I think with the sale of CDs almost dead, I don't know how we can watch. It's also because data is very expensive, so sometimes you can just go, I don't know. Okay, so that's it. Now let's go online and let's look at. But good morning to you. You're with Amaja Lodge in Efia.
Are you talking about Takrady?
Yeah.
It's Efia.
And good morning to you, Jacob Vermegan, your manager with the law, as well as the rest of all your cronies and the families around Efia. Good morning to all of you. Efia, that's your hood, right? Former hood.
No, I used to live at first Chapel Hill and then Fijai. Close to Sky Power FM.
Okay.
Yeah, that way you could just walk to work.
But Chapel Hill is right in Takrady.
Yeah, Chapel Hill in the center of it. Okay, so we're going to turn our attention online. There's an interesting story that's brewing between a former FBI director, James Comey, and the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump. Fortunately, there's a video that if we have enough time, we'll be able to play. There's a book that he's written, and based on that book, I think he did his very first interview with ABC after the book, where he says the president is not morally right
for the position,
for
the White House,
and the president is absolutely returning additional comments. But first, we have to do myjoyonline.com. But not before I say good morning to my dear friend Frank Amable. Yeah, all right, Roland.
That should. He works with Bosk, right?
Yes.
Okay. Eastern Corridor fiber optic network extension handed over to Ghana. From Ho to Accra was financed with a grant of some 3.7 million pounds. No, euros. That'll be it. Okay, I'll take it over. Fred.
So Ghana opened ready for business, according to our finance minister. He told Japanese businesses on Friday. Ghana deserves this cathedral. Don't fight it. Ghana will get to brag about a globally recognized architectural landmark. I had somebody who sent me a photograph of an African museum in Washington, I think. And, the suggestion was that this is what we need instead of a cathedral.
But even if you ask me, I think we need an entertainment dome.
Okay. Not in the same line.
Yeah.
Okay. Full list of winners at 2018 Vodafone Ghana Music Awards on myjoyonline.com. Mahama ministers received double ex gratia too, according to lawyer Gary Nimako Mafo, speaking on Newsfile on Saturday. Bedbugs invade Ashanti SHS. NADMO begins fumigation. 18 perish in 2 separate motor accidents. If you look at least 2 of the newspapers, the Finder is reporting 20. I think the Ghanaian Times reporting 21. Whichever way, the accident was gory. And then the VGMAs, Patapa storms out after missing out on Song of the Year award. And then we just have to run through the rest of the stories on myjoyonline.com. Health Minister blamed for delay to open $270 million UG Medical Center. 2 years after this amount of money was spent on the University of Ghana Medical Center. It was commissioned, by the way, by John Mahama. The facility remains shut. Yeah. London police probes Ghanaian killed by fallen crate. Threat to violence over creation of new northern regions. The BBC reporters who strip off to host the Naked podcast. Interesting. Ekufuado attends 25th Commonwealth meeting, and then many more stories on myjoyonline.com. Just before we rise, we want to go to the BBC and at least bring you one story, and then we make way for Benedict and a call with the Monday Sports on our show. Somaliland poet jailed for unity poetry. This is one of the stories that's making headlines. Winnie Mandela laid to rest in South Africa. In Mali, one genuine UN peacekeeper is dead and many French soldiers are wounded after the attack. So if you listen to details of the story, they said the invaders, they came in as though they were part of the peacekeepers, so disguise themselves essentially and then attack. But I want us to, can you go back to the main BBC page, please? The main BBC page. Okay. All right, so this is the story. We just want to click on the fired FBI chief who says Trump is morally unfit. That's the former FBI boss we're talking about with the book that he's written. And earlier, I think on Saturday mainly, it was highlights of the book that was getting people talking and getting Mr. Trump reacting. But now he's granted his very first interview where he told the ABC News that Mr. Trump lies constantly and may have obstructed justice. So here's a bit. Fred, just please go up a bit. We've got a video. Hopefully we'll be able to just play a little bit. Can we click on this, please, and let's see if this will be able to play. So Mr. Trump is definitely responding. We know how he does the responding. He does it via Twitter. Maybe we can just listen to this a little.
Not in the way I often hear people talk about it. I don't buy this stuff about him being mentally incompetent or early stages of dementia. He strikes me as a person of above average intelligence who's tracking conversations and knows what's going on. I don't think he's medically unfit to be president. I think he's morally unfit to be president.
Let's just go. So the talking points, I guess, I'll leave the rest for you to, you know, track and explore, if you like. But there's also Syria brewing. We'll have time and talk about that. I hope so. But Roland, we have to make way for sports.
Yeah, we have to make way for sports, and we know the latest from the various leagues and all that has been happening from the just ended Commonwealth Games will be coming up shortly.
So you said we got a bronze?
Oh, I think we got a medal.
Did we?
Yeah, we
got apart from the disgrace medal.
Or did we get a bronze?
Did we? We got one. Bronze.
Bronze.
Okay, we got two. We got a bigger one, I said. The bigger one was the 60
the gold medal disgrace.
Yeah, the disgrace. Congratulations to all of us. We made it again. We made headlines, huge headlines at the world stage. I heard the next one is going to London. That one, is it London? Birmingham.
Hey, and
that one, we will carry 150. This one was Australia. We decided to go with 60.
Actually, that one will start going before the game starts. Anyway.
If you know what is good for you, you screen your list before you attempt that. Stay with us. Highlights of all the games that you missed over the weekend coming up on your screens right after this.